Hi, I thought we would have a look at the large intestine meridian. Again, Hans has come to lend his support. Grant is also going to be a model. I'm going to reference, rely and read from the Jinglo. I may also, along the line, use the anatomy colouring book. The large intestine meridian, if I can just show you briefly on this picture here, starts at the fingertip, works its way around the arm, over the upper arm, comes up through the neck, and it ends on this point here by the nose. And if I show you here, this is where the meridian starts, runs over the back of the hand, over the forearm, here. That's where we're going to end our interest, at the joint in the elbow. But if we were to continue looking at the large intestine meridian, we would move over the shoulder, up the neck, and we would finish in this point here. Obviously there's a meridian running up the right side of the body. It also has a mirroring meridian running up the left side of the body here. And here are the points marked out here. So if I pop this over here, I'm going to ask Grant if he wouldn't mind popping onto the table for me and getting himself into a comfortable position so I can mark up the meridians on his arm. And with Grant, I'm just going to pop an extra cushion underneath his legs just in case he feels the need to straighten his legs. And obviously my dining table cum practitioner couch is not quite the right length for Grant, so that pillow is probably going to come in handy for him so he doesn't snag his legs on the chair. The large intestine channel is what we're going to look at. I want to start by reading a small piece about the channel. The large intestine channel of the hand. It's a primary channel. The large intestine channel starts at L1 on the radial side of the second digit and runs up the radial border of the forearm and the lateral aspect of the outer arm, remaining superficial as far as large intestine 14, where a deep branch runs to triple heater 13 at the posterior border of the deltoid muscle. The channel continues over the shoulder joint to large intestine 16 and then travels across the trapeze muscle to the posterior median line of the base of the 7th vertical vertebra, do 14. It crosses the back of the shoulder to the supraclavicular fossa, ST12, where it divides. One branch goes up from the lateral aspect of the neck, passing over the sternocleidomastoid muscle into the lower part of the face. From the mandible it travels along the side of the mouth, crossing the median line below the nose and above the upper lip, and it ends at the opposite side of the nose at large intestine 20, where the large intestine channel links with the stomach channel. And that's really the opening explanation from the Jinglo. The first point, as we mention in the book, in large intestine 1, is here on this finger. It's one of the nail points, and if you can see here, it's a nail point on what's called the distal phalanges. So if I move round to mark up this first point, The description of this point in the Jinglo is large intestine 1, Merchant Yang, and this is a metal point. The position of the patient is supine or seated for the marking up of this channel, but we've chosen Grant has volunteered to lie down. The location is on the hand, on the posterior aspect of the second digit, and this is the posterior aspect of the second digit. It's the back of the hand. The radial nail point of the second digit, approximately 0.1 sun, proximal to the corner of the nail, just distal to the flare of the distal phalange. And if we go back here to the picture, here, just at the bottom right here, is the flare of the distal phalange. So when we look at marking up this point, I'm going to pull Grant's hand up into the light, press just gently on his finger, and we can see just here. Here is the flare. To mark just lightly across here. And then we're just going to put this nail point here. That'll be large intestine 1. Thank you for that, Grant. Jake doesn't like me using this pen because it says it scrams him, so if it scrams you, then I'll change it. But you have to let me know. Okay, over to large intestine 2. Large intestine 2 is called the second interval, and it's a water point. This is also on the hand. It's on the midline of the radial surface of the second digit, index finger. It's distal to the metacarpophalangeal joint of the second digit, just distal to the flare of the base of the proximal phalanx of the second digit. So if we hold that description and look at the picture we have in front of us, that is going to be held in such a way as it's straight that you can just about see, thank you there. Just distal to the flare of the base of the proximal phalanx of the second digit. This is considered to be the second digit, and this is the proximal phalange here in green, and this is the base, and that's the flare at the bottom of the base. So again, if I come round to here, large intestine 2, on the midline of the radial surface of the second digit, distal to the metacarpal phalangeal joint of the second digit, that's the knuckle, just distal to the flare of the base of the proximal phalanx of the second digit, which is going to be here. This point is located with the finger slightly flexed, traditionally at the junction of the change in the skin colour. I'm going to place this here.